This episode of Unqualified is brought to you by State Farm, who has surprisingly great rates for your auto insurance. In 1999, my mom recorded me in our family room, delivering the lines for what I thought was a horror movie. My mom read the other roles, and I thought she gave a much better performance than I did. There was even a moment when I seriously considered not sending the tape because that would require a trip to the post office and an entire day's salary for postage. Not that I had a paying job. I was surprised when I received a phone call asking if I could audition in person. Then I realized that the casting director must have mixed up my tape with someone else's. I could have pointed out the error, but I'd never been to LA and wanted to go. So my parents gave me airline miles, and I flew to Los Angeles, Burbank actually, where I auditioned every day for a week and slept on 3 different couches. At the week's end, my friend with the least comfortable couch offered to drive me to the airport, and because at the time it was hard to find good Mexican food in Washington State, I wanted one last burrito. My pager began buzzing just as our nachos arrived. There was a payphone in the back of the restaurant, and when I returned the page, I was told that I got the role. It was one of the biggest surprises of my life. I was also surprised to learn that Scary Movie was actually a comedy. This was after my audition. Speaking of nice surprises, State Farm provides coverage that meets your needs at a surprisingly great rate. Like a good neighbor, State Farm is there. Call or go to statefarm.com for a quote today. Hello, Simsarna.
Hi, Anna.
Guess what? It's my hiatus week.
And you're still here in your dressing room on your hiatus week. You just love it here so much. You don't want to leave.
We're doing reshoots of our opening credits.
Why?
I don't know. I think there was too much me.
Oh, man. It makes sense. Okay. Overexposure. I understand it.
Sure.
We have a lot of stuff to get to. We have some feedback. I do want to quickly plug Inside of You with Michael Rosenbaum. It's become a hit podcast. I'm so happy that people are discovering Michael and his podcast, Inside of You. There is a link on our episode description if you want to subscribe for free. Right now, he has Topher Grace and he has Dax Shepard on the podcast. So, different interviews than the Anna Faris interviews. Very different.
Is he liking the process?
He's loving it so much. I mean, they all are. Dax is loving it. It's just really, really cool.
Actors like to talk about themselves.
I guess so.
Click on Michael's.
Inside of You.
Inside of You.
Yeah. Just subscribe for free. Also,
I feel like you.
What happened?
I don't know. I just had this image of you like being inside my brain, and then it went to a creepier place. Anyway, sorry. Go on.
I don't know if should I be offended? I don't know how to take that. You just said ew at the thought of all of that.
I don't. No. Don't be offended. I adore you.
Yes,
I think you're very handsome.
One more housekeeping note. Our USC class, we have actually opened up 3 more spots. So if any of you go to USC this fall, there's 3 more spots available in our class. And it's called Creating the Hit Podcast. We've getting some amazing guests this year. Anna, you are an incredible professor.
Fuck you.
Well, you are.
I would just show up and make lame jokes.
Listen to me. You come from a long lineage of professors, right?
Yes.
Your father is a professor.
Unqualified.
Your grandfather is a professor. Your brother is a professor. And now you are a professor.
I mean...
I love it. So 3 spots available. If you go to USC, please, we'd love to see you. And it's open to all majors and including grad students as well. So 3 spots are open. Thank you.
Please come join us.
So Anna, some feedback from last week's episode with Camilla. And you remember Haley? We talked to Haley. It was really loud. Basically, the subject was when the guy you like won't text you back. So Haley really enjoys this guy's company, but the catch is he takes about 3 weeks to respond each time.
Right.
And then you advised not to reach out, saying it only hurt Haley to push the subject and find out what he's hiding. I agreed with you. I said that he might be texting somebody else. And then Camilla disagreed. She said that Rachel should reach out in order to understand what's been happening. She also said that she's been in the same situation and confrontation has actually helped her move forward. And then you ended the advice with that if this guy is really interested, he would reach out and apologize for being MIA on text. And this guy also, this is related to the feedback, he's in the Army. We never touched on that, but it's very interesting because we got feedback from Kaylin, and Kaylin wrote, "First off, love y'all. You get me through working from home. Anna, Just Friends is my favorite Christmas movie of all time. Yes, it is a Christmas movie, and I tell people they can fight me if they want to argue about it." I too agree that the eyes are the nipples of the face. I don't even remember that line. That's hilarious. Sim, so excited for you to join the coolest hood around, Parenthood. Thank you so much. I'm also very excited. So, as a United States Marine Corps spouse, I 100% was distracted by the fact that he is in the Army.
I think that's very true.
It was something no one touched on. I don't want to give the guy an excuse if he's a jerk or just shady. Believe me, military guys are just as shady as non-military ones. But a 3-week gap between communication is 100% normal when you're dating a military man. Military life isn't always the sweet homecomings and the hot uniforms you see on Facebook, although Suns Out, Guns Out season is the reason I have a child.
Ooh.
What is Suns Out, Guns Out season?
I don't know.
Sounds pretty sexy, though.
It does.
It's a lot of waiting and a lot of time alone and raising children and pets alone.
Michael Sherman just said summer. Sorry.
What did Michael already say?
I mean summer.
I'm sorry. I don't mean, I try to not interrupt you, but then I get chatty brain.
I want to know what Suns Out,
I don't
Guns
know.
Out
I don't
was.
know either.
My husband has been deployed /training /away from us for more than 14 of the last 18 months. We've been lucky that he can communicate with us daily on his current deployment, but on his last one, their phone access was terrible. During his last deployment of 7 months, we had a total of 5 phone calls. 5 in 7 months. My unqualified military spouse advice is to ask him if his absence is military related. He may not be able to give you details due to his position, so don't be upset if he can't tell you. Loose lips sink ships are more than just Taylor Swift lyrics.
Loose lips sink ships.
Loose lips sink ships. How does Taylor Swift do it,
I need
Michael?
to do more red leather, yellow leather.
If it is military related, Haley, you need to decide if you're okay with the life of dating a man that unfortunately can't put you first. They don't join the military to not give their all for their country. Dating a military man is hard, and not everyone is cut out to do it. Look inside yourself and decide if you're ready. If it isn't military related, I agree with Anna and Cammie. Move on.
Oh, yeah. You know what? That's a great point, though.
I had no idea. I never thought about that.
I mean, because we're in a profession where we have to spend time away from people we're in relationships from, and it is incredibly difficult. But I do also think, I don't know if you know this about me, Sim, when I was in high school, even before like call waiting happened, you know, it was like phones. There was a guy that I was so hoping would call me every night that I would leave the phone off the hook because I would be too devastated if...
It's so sad.
No, it's not sad. It was just like my way of protecting myself.
No, I know. I think
because I knew
I think I understand
in my gut that he wasn't going to call.
God, you and I have issues because I would do the same thing. But listen, Haley emailed us and she got an update. She
okay, great. Great.
Quick update. She said, "Hi guys, thanks for all your advice. To be honest, I couldn't hear any advice on the actual phone call because of the noise, which I'm sorry about. Comic-Con was really tough.
Sorry.
But I actually did text him to see what was going on, and it actually went really well. I hate that I went against your advice because I didn't hear it. We had a good conversation, and honestly, I'm just done trying. The ball is in his court, and I'll be here if he wants to talk, but I've realized I deserve more and deserve someone who wants to talk to me nonstop. So thank you guys. Even though I heard your advice after I took action, it still helped me a lot in putting it all together. Thanks, Sim, Anna, and Cammie. I will be emailing in the future for more relationship questions. Love you guys.
Please do. I love you too, and thank you for the update. And good for you for protecting your heart. Yeah. I haven't said that in a little while.
That's an old school Anna saying.
Yeah. Protect your heart.
Protect your heart, kids. All right. Well, we're gonna.
You're not.
So
kids,
Anna,
dear listeners. You're very valued adults, I think.
They are adults.
But I love you.
Perfect. And now let's get to Bo Burnham.
This episode of Unqualified is brought to you in part by Intuit, powering products like TurboTax, QuickBooks, Mint, and Credit Karma. Intuit works for what you work for, and it was only recently that I found out they were working for me. I've been using QuickBooks for years and more recently began using Mint, which is an easy way to create monthly budgets. It was a bit surprising to realize how much I could save by learning how to make coffee. With Intuit, artificial intelligence can predict your future cash flow, recognize a misplaced digit in an account or routing number, and even connect users with live experts who can assist with navigating life changes or help with unique tax situations. Everything is automatically organized as you track your personal or business expenses by scanning receipts, invoices, and other financial documents, while smart budgeting tools let you know before you overspend. Innovative features like these make managing your finances simple, but as you probably already knew, innovation is at the core of everything Intuit does. Discover how Intuit's products can help you see what's possible at intuit.com. That's INTUIT.com. This episode of Unqualified is brought to you in part by The Pill Club. Do you need to renew your birth control prescription? Want to switch your birth control? Maybe try it for the first time. Whether you know the brand you want or you're looking for help finding the best option, the Pill Club medical team has your back. With the Pill Club, you'll never have to make a trip to the doctor or wait in line at the pharmacy. The Pill Club is a birth control subscription prescribed by a medical professional and delivered straight to your door for free in discreet packaging. The Pill Club carries over 120 FDA-approved brands. Most brands of birth control are free with insurance or Medicaid. Otherwise, prices start as low as $7 per month without insurance. Right now, when you go to thepillclub.com/unqualified, the Pill Club is offering a $10 donation to bedsider.org for every unqualified listener who becomes a patient. Your donation will help low-income individuals get access to birth control through bedsider.org. That's thepillclub.com/unqualified to get your first birth control care package. That's thepillclub.com/unqualified to get your first birth control care package and donate to help more women in need of affordable birth control. Remember, thepillclub.com/unqualified. You must use the link to make a donation.
She was so cute.
The movie's awesome. I saw it this morning and blown away. For me, it felt like when I watched Quentin Tarantino's first movie, Paul Thomas Anderson's first movie, it was one of those because it had a specific style.
Yeah.
And I know, Michael, you talked about the music. I completely.
That's very nice. I've been told I look like a young Quentin Tarantino, which is a tough compliment. It's my bone structure.
You're very handsome. Oh.
Maybe he was back in the 90s. Maybe.
Hey, thanks so much, though. Truly.
I'm happy to be here, Anna. Thanks for having me.
Okay, so a couple of things. Well, more than a couple of things.
Sure.
So you've been on this press circuit, right? How do you feel about going on talk shows? Because you're really good at them.
Oh, that's nice. It's tough. It's been hard because I publicly bashed talk shows before I actually went on them in my stand-up life. So, but I never claim not to be a hypocrite. It's nice, you know. I really like. Though? I like Jimmy Kimmel a lot, which I was on.
Yeah, he's great.
He's not one of the. There's a lot of lizard people out there, and he doesn't appear to be a lizard person, from what I can tell.
Back in the day when I started doing, I'm really bad at talk shows.
Yeah.
I do this weird, like, heightened version of myself, and I get really awkward and fidgety, and usually I'm wearing a short skirt, and then I get really nervous about that, and then you see yourself on those monitors, and anyway.
And it looks so different up close than it does on camera. That's what people don't understand. Is that, like, the people look like they're made of marzipan. Like it's all, they're all strange looking. Like everyone has really thick makeup, and it's like they make it look slightly natural on camera, but it is the least natural conversation to possibly
have. It's like you're standing right before you go out, and there's some nervous stage manager like, okay, you're gonna walk to the left, and then like whatever, and
Kimmel's the one where you like stand in like a toll booth thing, and then the wall,
yes, and it's terrifying. You're there by yourself for like what feels like, I don't know, an hour.
Yeah,
and then the setup for like whatever story you're supposed to tell which is like, I don't think this is going to land.
Yeah, it's like, so jungle. You ever been in a jungle gym? And it's like, well, actually, like desperately trying to make this thing look casual, but it's all right. You know, it's like, I think I had to just like kind of get over it in my own mind and be like, you know, this appearance is only this important to me, and everyone else is just like happy to be at a taping.
Does your family watch this stuff?
Yeah.
And are they like really positive? Like, you did great, Bo.
Yeah, but it's a little too much. Like, my mother and my father should take me off their Google alerts and like stop like alerting me to everything.
Oh, yes.
Like I could.
Can you tell my parents to do that as well?
Yeah. It's like, but yeah, it's strange. It's it's a strange world. It's weird because it feels like, for some people, it feels like it's what they do, and like the movies they do are just the weird things they do to have an excuse to go on talk shows and tell like funny, weird, silly stories. It's strange. I don't know. There's a lot of them.
The backstage anxiety, I just can't, because I feel like I'm playing a version of myself that I don't like very much.
Do you? What is the version? Is it the version you think people
like? I laugh too much at stupid things. Like, I don't quite land the story, which sometimes is made up. But I do think that earlier, when I first started doing talk shows, it was like the days of Letterman and Leno.
Yeah.
And there was, I think there's less of a culture of trying to throw the guest under the bus now.
Right.
Whereas before, or maybe I was just really easy to throw under the bus. I was like, oh, you're a ding dong.
Because it feels like Letterman was that, though. That felt like his whole gig was to like undercut the thing.
Yeah. The second time I did Letterman, he said my name was Anna Paris. And so I walk out and I'm already terrified.
Yeah.
And it didn't go well.
Well, it's so weird when people watch it and they comment like they either think you're stoned or on coke. Like, that's what they think you are. And it's like, you try.
Yeah.
Like, good. Yeah. Like, you try to be on this thing. If you're engaged, you're on cocaine. And if you're at all relaxed, you're stoned. And it's like, it's just like, it's impossible to look natural in this thing. And it's not until you do like a endless press tour where you realize like, oh yeah, of course Miley Cyrus says some weird shit on some Thursday morning when she's literally having to talk publicly like 14 hours a day for her entire young adult life. Like, of course you're going to say something awful and horrible or confusing.
I remember I did a talk show with somebody I won't name, who's not on the air anymore, but he asked me the same question 3 times, which is, where are you from? I was like, oh, I'm from Seattle. Oh, okay, that's cool. So wait, wait, where are you from? Like, he kept looking at his note cards, and I was like, oh, well, I'm from north of Seattle, actually.
Just got more specific.
So I'm like, oh, all right. So you're not from LA, right? No. Born in Baltimore, grew up north of Seattle. But I don't, like, in hindsight, I don't blame people necessarily because it is hard to listen in that heightened format. It's hard to listen to what a guest is saying.
Of course.
And to have like 18 things in your ear of like, it's time, commercial break or whatever. And
every day of your life, you have 4 interviews you have to do in an engaged manner. And think of like what some of your days are in your life. Like, some days I don't want to talk to anybody. And I have to talk to 4
most days.
Yeah. So I don't think it's anyone's fault but the format.
One time somebody said, well, it's not like you're digging ditches. And I was like, yep, you're right. You're right.
For a reference of like why you're doing any, like, you should have nothing to complain about.
Yeah, which is true. I mean, look, we're here in my lovely dressing room. I have a window.
Yeah, not many windows in the ditch.
I have a bowl of pudding. I don't know if you noticed the massive bowl of pudding over there.
A bowl of just loose pudding.
Yes.
Oh my God, it moved.
Please. Would you like some chocolate pudding?
I think I'm all right. That's
Are you sure, bro?
It's a lot of surface area for exposed pudding. Yeah, it happens so much that people think it's real. Or that's what's nice about podcasts, is that they're like, they get pretty close to what actual conversation looks like. I mean, there's a little bit of performance. I mean, I'm aware that, people are listening, But you should see my posture right now. It is not for viewing.
Listen, yeah, look at mine.
Yeah, it's real good.
Yeah.
I do a lot of this. Me and my sister do this a lot, which is like I do a lot of feet up at the dinner table. I would do feet up.
Is it like a defensive move?
I don't know. It's like I'm a very tall person, but I've always felt very collapsible.
Well, and I heard that you were shorter and you grew like what, 8? I know you probably have told
8
this
inches.
story.
Oh, I'll continue to 8 inches in a year, and I got stretch marks on my spine.
My whole identity growing up was like I was the short kid, and I think it made me into a little bit of a Napoleon. I like to think that I could be that, dominant.
And the whole thing was that Napoleon wasn't short. Do you know that?
No.
Napoleon was like 5'9", and like
you're destroying my world
his
right now.
enemies would say that he was short as like a dig, but
What if he was wearing heels though?
He had lifts. That's what it was. Yeah, he had lifts.
And he had a really tall hat.
yeah, exactly.
Those hats never made sense to me.
Oh yeah, those big. What's that, like a Captain Crunch hat, right? That's what he had.
Yeah, amazing. Like not going to provide too much protection. People are at least going to know that you've arrived.
Yes. Oh my gosh, they know who the real deal is.
Can
from
I
that big swooping hat?
Ask you a question as an actor though? How do you get honesty out of an actor? Because your movie is so moving and so honest. Like, how did you do that?
So I was an actor. I mean, that's what I really fell in love with first. When I was a kid, I started to do theater, and that's what I really loved first out the gate when I was in like 5th, 6th, 7th grade and everything. And I just loved theater, and I had a lot of really good theater teachers that taught me, to take ownership over the thing, and the kids would really take ownership over what they were working on. And we thought we were like little geniuses as we were making like Peer Gynt as like 13-year-olds. And then it wasn't until like in hindsight that, I graduated high school and I went back and I watched one of my high school, high school.
VHS. No, you're too young.
No. Yeah, no, I wasn't. No, my Footloose in 8th grade is on VHS in my house. My production of, I was Ren McCormick. Anyway, but no, when I went back and watched, like I went to my high school and watched the class below me do a play. And I was like, oh, this isn't genius theater. This is a bunch of nervous kids learning how to stand up straight and speak and take ownership over something. And you really are hungry for it at that age. So that's a minor question. I think it actually does apply to adults. But my interest in directing was to act again. I want to be in it with the actors and make them feel comfortable and make them... There's this sort of bad narrative, obviously, in sort of filmmaking and everything, which is like, oh, actors are divas, they need to be pampered and blah, blah, blah. It's like, they should be. They absolutely should be. Because, like, it's the oxymoron of filmmaking. You budget and you plan and you schedule to show up on the day and then get something spontaneous, which is all on the actors to deliver. So, for me, the entire endeavor of the set and the environment was to make a place that was safe for the actors to be vulnerable and express themselves and to be honest and to fail and to risk failing, because that's actually what something alive looks like. And it being kids was just a very specific environment.
Did you have a really good sense of what take you wanted to use?
No, I had a good sense of what the vibe and tone of the thing that I wanted it to be in looked like. Because, cameras see something so much different than other forms of acting, like theater. I mean, you are so close. It really does have to look like thought. It does have to look like not lines. Especially, that's what we were sort of trying to play against with kids, because often kids in movies, like, it's so weird. Like, you meet kid actors would come in, and they'd come into the audition and they'd be nervous and have little tics and be stumbling over their words. They'd be so alive when they walked into the room. And then you give them a scene, and all of a sudden they snap into like this weird, like simple performed version of themselves. And I'm going like, what is this version of being a kid that you've been taught by movies and whatever casting directors and people you've worked with? And just trying to shed that and go like, we're trying to capture the thing that you are, not the thing that you want to be. And the thing that you are as a kid is like you just drank a glass of milk and like you're talking like that. It's that sort of chaotic, stumbly sort of. So yeah, that was a lot of the process, was just getting the kids in the scene, getting all the actors though. Josh Hamilton, who's a great actor and a trained theater actor, just getting him in these environments and just getting you out of your head and trying to just be open and vulnerable to the moment. I've acted in a few things, and I've had good experiences. I've also had experiences on set where I feel like I am not being paid attention to at all. And like the thing that really bummed me about film acting, when I started to do a little bit of it, I was like, we don't even get to act. We act like 10 minutes a day. I mean, that's like such a bummer when it's like, that's all we're really trying to do. And I would watch 100 well-acted, poorly shot movies before I would watch a well-shot, poorly acted movie. Like that's all I care about. So like, let's act, let's do it. Like, let's do a bunch of takes and live this thing. But yeah, it really is just my love of the craft of acting, my love and respect of actors. I think what they do is magical. And all you watch in a movie, really, all you watch, even in big movies where it's exploding, what matters is the look on that person's eyes when they're next to it.
What was the best advice that you ever got from an acting coach? That's such a cliche question, isn't it?
It's interesting.
And I feel like you're the first person I've asked that because I've always been too arrogant to ask.
No. Well, good. I'm glad we're empowered here.
Yeah.
I don't.
I mean, because it sounds like I had some negative. The reason
that's probably a better.
I had some negative experiences with some acting teachers,
too.
and I felt like there's a damaging element sometimes to the need, I think, for some coaches or teachers to break you down. So I don't know what the philosophy is, if it's like so you're hardened for rejection, or if
right.
But for me, that
it always film for you? Was it always in?
No, I did theater. I grew up doing theater in Seattle.
Yes, where are you from?
Seattle.
Oh, cool.
North of Seattle.
North.
Yeah. Seattle sounds a little hip. But,
yeah, exactly. I say north of Boston because it sounds racist if I say I'm from Boston.
Especially with like kids. Like a lot of times, I don't know if you've ever noticed this, but sometimes you can feel like when somebody's audition scene is in a movie.
Yeah. Right. It's been cooked so much.
But I think the biggest learning experience for me was just experience. And the experience through rejection as well.
Yeah.
And
that's the thing, is that like the creative process is sometimes at odds with the process of just being a working actor, which is also really difficult. And I tell and I don't know anything about, I mean, I've directed one movie, so I don't know, but like, I think every director should go to an audition every 6 months, and I do that even though I've stopped acting, because you should know what it feels like to be on that side, and you'll have a lot more sympathy for the people walking into a room and realize that like, you have to get past the whatever's actually happening to even get a sense of them. And the like the Venn diagram or whatever of people that are good at auditions and people that are good at acting is not the same. It's not a circle.
They're two different.
It's totally different skill sets, or that sometimes have overlap. But there are a lot of people that are not good in an audition setting that would be wonderful in a movie. And for my movie was particularly that, where I felt like the main girl I'm casting is the exact type of girl I don't think would be comfortable going into an audition, which is like me. But yeah, I think you have always seemed to be someone that is very open, and a rare type of person that is very open and vulnerable.
It's a good act, isn't it?
No, but and yet
get ready to die.
Precise. Yeah, exactly. But I don't even mean necessarily like vulnerable gets thrown around though as like weak or something. But that's not what it means. It just means like not necessarily needing to be in control every moment, because you can feel that with some actors that feel like they absolutely need to be doing like a juggling act rather than what it more is, which should be like a high wire act where you're constantly adjusting and kind of leaving yourself open to something.
But I think that's why it's so important to have trust in your filmmaker and like your crew and the support team around you, so you feel like after I finished a particular take, like, did that seem interesting at all? And you sort of have to have kind of the reassurance of like, yes, it was interesting. You are interesting enough. Yeah.
And the thing that's right beside the good thing that's alive and you can never recreate again is bad. All around that is not going to be good. You know what I mean? So like, you have to be so okay with getting that. And what I would always want the actors to feel like is that like, this is not me asking for you to deliver something and now will you deliver it? It's both of us in this trying to figure it out together. I do feel like I have to act to like direct. I have to act with them in a weird way. Like the rehearsal process was me I would do the scenes with all the actors alone.
I love
playing the other people and then just pull out at the, like with Elsie, I would play everybody. And then with everyone else, I would play Elsie. So I had a vague sense that everyone was kind of on the same page, but yet the real magic hadn't happened yet. So, the first time they really did it together was on camera, but we had sort of established a little bit of a rhythm. But again, there's so many ways to make a film. You can make a Cassavetes film, or you can make some Fincher film that's all totally precise. And there's so many ways at acting. There's so many ways to do it. But I think the good films really value the actors as so valuable. Yeah, and I felt not valued. I felt like the thing of I know what that feeling is of being an actor on set and feeling like you're just cattle. That's a bummer.
Yeah, and I feel like, especially with a lot of the comedy stuff I've done, it feels like that's sort of a little bit of the norm.
And the crazy thing with when you're in a scene and the motivation is be funny, that kills me. That really kills me when it feels like a bunch of people sitting around reading their Twitter drafts or whatever out loud, and just how did this become what you mean that? What blows my mind about comedy is that the people are 10 times funnier than anyone is in real life, and yet people laugh 10 times less often than they do in real life. When I'm always watching comedies with friends hanging out, I'm like, why aren't you all laughing at each other? You guys are being really funny. Why is everyone so...
That's such a good point.
Why is everyone so wryly accepting everyone's quips? If my friend made a joke as written in a movie in real life, I'd be like, whoa, good one.
But wasn't there always that old... wasn't there that old school philosophy of if the other characters are laughing, then it doesn't allow the audience? I don't know. I mean, to me, it doesn't sound logical, but
I know, yeah. It's strange.
I don't know.
This episode is brought to you in part by Plant Botanical. As everyone slowly comes out of hiding, many of you are asking the same questions. Am I ready for actual human contact? Should I swipe right? Will they look like their picture? Do I look like my picture? Is that the face of an axe murderer? Do I really want to take off these sweats? And for those of you who get that far, what drink should I be casually sipping? I have the answer to that one. While your date sits awkwardly silent, stunned by your good looks, dazzled by your intellect, or wondering how to dispose of your body, the drink in your hand should be delicious, refreshing, crisp, clean, Plant Botanical Vodka Seltzer. Weighing in at only 1 carb, made with real fruit and botanicals traditionally used for stamina, immunity, and detox, Plant Botanical is already thinking about your future encounters. Follow and DM @PlantLovesYou and share a story or video of your funniest, wildest, or most awkward date for a chance to win up to $1,000 for your next one. Plant Botanical, your perfect companion while you look for your perfect companion. Available at Target, Pavilions, Vons, Total Wine, or visit PlantLovesYou.com to find a store near you. Plant Vodka and Vodka Seltzer. Just the good shit. This episode of Unqualified is brought to you in part by Best Fiends. We all know there really is only one match 3 style game worth playing. It's the one with an actual storyline, cool collectible characters, and non-stop action-packed adventure. It's the one with literally thousands of challenging puzzles to solve. And yes, I'm using the word literally correctly. Of course, I'm talking about Best Fiends. You meet your best fiends early in their careers. They don't have much experience, but they have heart. I recognized a little piece of myself in each of them. And so I began to assemble the perfect team. I watched them grow as we solved puzzle after puzzle, working hard and playing hard. Today, my best fiends are ready to go anytime and anywhere. I'm really proud of what they have become. With new challenges and levels added all the time, there's never a boring moment. So download Best Fiends free today on the App Store or Google Play. That's friends without the R. Best Fiends.
Forgive me if you've been asked this question a ton, but did you
You ask them in different ways, so even if you do it, it won't be
like
the same.
haltingly.
Yes, exactly. It's usually way more efficient. So this is a real release.
Settle in, Bo. We got a long ways to go. No, but the choice of making your lead a female, did you ever question that idea at all?
Well, I was very aware of it. You know what I mean? Like I was certainly aware of what I was doing in terms of like, uh-oh. You know what I mean? Like when it was feeling right and feeling like the only way I wanted to tell it. Like it was never a boy. It was just never in any iteration. It was never Kyle or whatever. And the reason was because I watched hundreds of videos of kids talking online about themselves. The boys talked about Fortnite and the girls talked about their souls. Like truly, it was like, well, it's just the girls are just at that age asking for whatever reason. Innately, I think they're probably a little more mature at that age.
Will you send over your top 200 to me?
Yeah, yes, I will. Yeah, and it's incredible because they all start, "Hey guys, hey guys,
hey guys,"
and they all end with, "I hope some of you found this helpful," which is like, there's so many hilariously arbitrary things that are said in every one, but. Also, I really did want to make I like movies about young people that feel like memories and feel like nostalgic and stuff. Like that's cool, but I didn't want to make one. Like I wanted to make a movie about a kid now, and part of that was like I didn't want it to feel like an older person looking back on their experience with authority, but a young person looking out from within their experience with just nothing but what they have around them. So it being a girl, it's like I couldn't pretend I knew what she was going through, and I got to walk 8th grade for the first time with her rather than revisit this place I'd already been. That's what I wanted the movie to feel like, not like, okay, we're going in a time machine back to a memory, rather than no, you are going to be in something. But yeah, I was very aware that I was a dude the whole time. I mean, my girlfriend's a writer-director, and she's the only person that reads my stuff when I'm writing it. So I had her around me, and then during the process.
But
if I was way off base, I could be called bullshit.
But that's the thing, is that I think that there is there's I guess there's that idea in Hollywood that you know exactly.
I know,
what
I know what you're saying.
Yeah,
that people, and it's correct. It's an old North Seattle idea, which is that but it tended to be that straight white men were telling every story. So the idea was, why can't stories about young women be told by women? And that should be generally true. And the arena of creators should be diversified in absolutely every way. But the real compelling reason I love movies, I connect most personally to movies that I don't demographically align with. And that is a miracle to me. I see a movie like Moonlight and I go I am Chiron. I'm a straight white guy, but I feel like I see myself in you. And that is really beautiful to me when I feel like I can see commonality in someone that isn't necessarily on the surface me. And the greatest young male story of my generation was written by J.K. Rowling. I was inspired to write this movie by female filmmakers, by female writer-directors that had made stories about young women. But it's also, the flip side is crazy. I obviously want women to be able to write stories about young men too, of course.
Well, yeah. Well, and I just think I like to imagine that the children are our future, but the gender will be taken out of the equation. I mean, I did this movie Smiley Face, and I couldn't believe. I kept asking the writer, this is a dude, and I'm so honored that I get to play this character. I don't have a love interest except for weed, and this is amazing. And I love that while there are specifics in terms of body conscious issues in your movie, but what's most rewarding is to play a nuanced, developed character, and there isn't an underestimation of whatever intelligence or thoughtfulness or normal human desires, or I could go on.
And that's the thing, is that again, it is generally true that this should happen. And also, I have watched movies about young women written and directed by men where I go, ew. I watch this and I go, this is messed up. What I'm seeing, this is absolutely gross. I can't believe this guy wrote this scene for this girl to be in. This is completely irresponsible. So I probably generally agree with it. But it's also that it's you want to, the beautiful thing about art would be that it encourages empathy, and not just empathy. This is not a story about my daughter. This is not a story about. This is a story about me. I see myself in her, and I want to encourage.
Yeah.
Men should be. Women have been seeing themselves in male characters forever. That men always get to be about the human condition. You don't have to be a Prince of Denmark to see yourself in Hamlet. You don't have to be an astronaut to go to Apollo 13. So you shouldn't just have to be a 13-year-old girl to see yourself in her. But I get it. It's like, in the larger conversation, it makes sense. But in this specific case of this movie, it's like, what really happened is, like, I was a dude that got a little bit of momentum from making stand-up, so I was able to make a little movie, and this is the movie I chose to make. So if I didn't make it, there would just be one less story about a young girl out there. I mean, that's all it is. I mean, this is what I chose to put out into the world. I feel feminine, too. I mean, also, I do. I feel like more similar to the women in my life. My anxiety is shared by the women in my life. So,
are you implying that I'm anxious?
Yeah. Well, you're a woman in my life now.
Listen.
Yes.
Just gonna take that right back to me.
Yeah.
No, it's such a beautiful movie.
I appreciate
it. I'm so happy that you're here, and it was just beautifully edited and beautifully acted, and the music is incredible. And hey, dear listeners, please check out 8th Grade. We're not ending the interview right now, Bo. Don't get misled,
good.
okay?
Okay. Yeah,
all right, because we got some shit to do.
Hell yeah.
Okay, are you ready? Are you ready for shit to do?
Yes.
Okay.
Oh my God, it's a paper.
Yeah. Okay, you mentioned earlier that you are in a relationship. We will not inquire about that.
Okay.
But this is where we need you to imagine that you're single.
Okay. Oh God, yeah.
Okay. Wait, have you been in your relationship? You don't have to tell us that.
Yeah, 6 years.
Oh, okay.
And this will be the first time in those 6 years that I've ever imagined being single.
Is this called deal breakers? Okay. On a second date, she takes leftover food from someone else's table at a restaurant.
So funny. I have been single for a month since I was 16. I went from a 5-year relationship, single for a month, to a 6-year relationship.
So
unintended.
It's hard. Are you having a hard time?
No, but this is like
yourself?
But this is truly hypothetical. What is it? If she took food from another,
let's say, so you're on the second date. There's a table leaves. They forget their leftover food.
Yeah,
and she grabs it.
Oh, that's funny. That's not a deal breaker. No.
Okay. All right. Cool.
Yeah, I think that's chill.
All right.
Resourceful.
Next one. She comes over for dinner. You go to the bathroom, and when you come back, you see her going through your trash and pulling out the recyclables.
I sort my recyclables, but so in this world, so this is two-part. In this world, I don't sort my recyclables, and I also apparently cook.
Yeah, no, but
okay.
she
this is a real.
She pulls out.
This is a
she
real
pulls out
alternate universe.
She pulls out the pizza box, and she's like, you should be recycling this. Do you say, actually, because it has grease on it, we're not supposed to recycle?
Oh, right, exactly.
I'm just wondering.
Yeah, I think that's a strike.
Would you say that? Would you say, oh, actually,
I'd do something really subtle. I'd maybe throw a dish against the wall, scream at her or something. Do like a Revolutionary Road sort of, hey, bro! Is that her name in it? I don't know.
Okay, you're at a restaurant. She orders a steak tartare.
So is it very food centric for you? Is that where your deal breakers happen?
Listen, we can get into some other stuff. We tried to. We didn't know where you wanted to go.
Keep it cash.
Listen, we can go darker and deeper if you want.
Yeah.
Okay. So she orders the steak tartare as her entree, and she tells you that she only eats raw meat.
That's kind of cool. It's kind of cool. Only raw meat?
If you want to explore it, you can.
I mean, like nothing but raw meat.
Nothing but raw meat. Because number one, it's more nutritious.
Is it?
Because when the animal gets cooked, its meat goes further into shock. But
well, yeah.
Also,
I can't imagine being more shocked than being chopped up into little pieces, but
also, her ancestors are from the Donner Party, and so
gotcha.
They
Donner Party.
She likes to honor
those
her
Conestoga wagon.
relatives.
That's pretty good.
Who were
Alive.
eaten
Who were eaten
raw.
I think that's cool. That's fine. She's got a lot of antibodies. She's built up good antibodies, I think, at that point.
You're not worried about like the Donner Party.
This makes my cooking much easier. So I think I'm good with it.
What would you cook her?
I wouldn't have to. I'd cook her.
Oh yeah, I guess you
I
couldn't.
just cut open the bag.
Just like some okra and like just start chopping up some lamb chops.
Yeah.
And don't even have to light that fire. It's hot
Chicken.
outside.
It's very exciting.
Okay. She has a feel free tattoo on her lower back.
That's cool. That's cool.
No, listen, it is cool. But, you know, you guys are getting hot and heavy.
Yeah.
And like her, you know, pants come off.
Mm-hmm.
And she has like scripted, like, you know.
She takes off her cummerbund and I see
Yeah.
the lower back.
Which says feel free right above her ass crack. We were debating whether or not she has a tiny arrow that sort of points downward.
Right. To the feel free.
Is that a deal breaker?
Well, first of all, it is not consent. That has to be noted. It is consent is verbal, not written 5 years ago on your own body. So I would check in.
What would you say?
I would say, sweetheart, which I get very intimate very quickly. I'd say,
Yeah.
I'll need verbal confirmation of what seems to be written on your coccyx.
Feel free.
Feel free. That's that isn't like, it's supposed to be explicit, affirmative, enthusiastic consent. I wouldn't think.
Feel free.
Yeah, feel free seems slightly casual.
Bo, just feel free.
Feel free. You know,
I'm myself. You're yourself. Feel free.
I feel free. I do feel free.
Do you? Like, have you ever been like skydiving?
I've never been skydiving.
Okay, well, just feel free, you know? It's just like that.
Yeah. Okay. Yeah, that's certainly not it's not a deal breaker. It's not a deal maker,
How are you
though.
going to get consent out of this person, though?
Yeah, I know,
I
exactly.
challenge you.
I know. Consent out of the very
Feel
super.
free.
Yeah.
You know, we're Americans.
We're Americans. Yeah. Yeah. How are you feeling?
I feel free.
But that's what it is. So it's a feel free. You're saying the disposition of the feel free is like feel free, not like feel free.
It's like both. It's like a whole state of mind and a physical.
What's the font?
It's cursive.
Okay.
But what's a good font? I don't know.
Well, if it was like a serif,
It's a serif, for sure.
that would be too intense. If it was papyrus, like the Avatar font,
Then what?
I don't know.
Then that's
a deal
consent.
breaker. That's a deal breaker.
Feel free. Just like, I don't know. I just want you to like feel free. I feel free.
I feel trapped at this point. I feel trapped in this hypothetical.
Yeah. Okay, but you don't even know, like, I even like put a directional like symbol on my
Arrow.
body. Yeah, an arrow. South. You know?
I respect that. I respect lower back tattoos. I think they really came back around because they were so shamed so heavily late 90s, early aughts that now it's like, oh, you like made it through that moment.
That's why you like me, because I feel free.
Yeah, exactly. Nothing freer than that.
I love how you really like pivoted left and right with that one.
Oh, yeah. Oh, easy.
In the best of ways. Oh my God. It's incredible. Okay, should we do the audition?
Okay, this is going to be fun. We're going to
Okay.
actually
I
have an
hope.
audition. So Anna Faris is going to audition for you for the sequel to 8th grade called 9th grade. She'll be reading. I'm the casting director. My name is
Great.
BJ Armstrong.
BJ
And
Armstrong.
yeah, you don't know who BJ Armstrong is, do you?
Is he a real casting director?
Yeah, no, he's not. He's not. He actually
okay.
played for the Bulls a long time ago, but Anna liked the name BJ.
Okay.
So what we're going to do is we're going to bring in Anna Faris right now. And listen, I know she's a little old to play 9th grade, but she looks really young.
Yes.
So she really wanted the opportunity, and you know, Anna doesn't audition for much. So I'm hoping that
it's an
let her
honor.
in. Okay. So Anna, come on in. Why don't you?
BJ, oh my God, it's
so great to see you.
Thanks
Oh my
so
God,
much.
it's been so long because you don't audition anymore. You're offer
well,
only.
I know. Well, but I just hi.
Hey,
I'm
Bo
Anna.
Burnham.
you guys have a real history, I guess. You come to this
yeah,
casting office a lot?
23
Yeah.
years.
Yeah.
Oh.
Well, You don't have to mention that. Hey, Bo, I'm Anna. It's really nice to meet you. I was
thanks for coming in on such short notice.
a huge fan of 8th grade.
Oh, appreciate it.
Yeah, thanks so much for seeing me.
Well, we were getting a sequel off the ground, and you were one of the 50th people we thought of. So
I so appreciate it.
of course,
I didn't have a chance to get. I just got this in the waiting room.
Bit of a cold read. Is that okay?
That's totally fine.
So this one is straight into camera, just
Straight
like
into my
Kayla.
eyes.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Do you want to slate first, please?
Yeah.
Right here, right to this camera.
Okay. Hi, I'm Anna Faris, and I'm
Just
here
say
to
where
read
you grew
first.
up. Just say where you grew up and your weight.
Oh, sure. Hi, I'm Anna Faris. I grew up in Seattle, Washington, actually north of Seattle.
Oh.
And I weigh 87 kilograms. Bo, thanks again. I know this is
Of course.
Okay.
You got your sides. It's just it's just a monologue. So all we're doing is we have time for just a monologue.
Okay.
And Bo, honestly, feel free to. She'll read it as many times as you want. Just give her notes because I know she.
Or as few.
Or as few. If you think
Okay.
she has it, then she has it.
Okay, great.
Yeah, it's like I said, I just got this because I know you're keeping the script
Yeah.
under wraps. It's so great that you get to do a sequel. I've done a few sequels, Scary Movie 2, 3, and 4.
Oh, so you're familiar. This is a Crackle original.
Yeah. Okay, so we're doing interior bedroom day?
Yes.
Yeah, you don't have to read this stage direction. You can just read the
Okay.
lines. Yeah.
Okay, cool.
And punctuation should be in your head.
Oh, okay. All right.
So you want to pretend that you're filming yourself for your YouTube thing?
Yeah, but I should do it straight to you?
Yeah.
Or just maybe slight eyeline? Okay.
My eyes are your eye line, but
Okay.
play it to the point of the wall behind my head.
Okay. Hey guys, it's 6:58 a.m. and my dad is annoying me. He's waiting in the car to take me to my first day of high school. And high school it's going to be awesome because my whole future is spread out before me. You know, I got assigned a locker, which is actually feels like it's super archaic. But I guess I do need a place to put my stuff. So that's cool. I want everyone to know I'm testing my own courage by trying out for cheer this year. So, like, I feel like you guys we should always test our own courage. But I am, to be honest, I'm kind of nervous. I want everyone to know not to be nervous, to do things like whatever they want to do.
Sorry, I'm going to stop you there real quick. So I don't know. They probably didn't give you the character description. Kayla went to she did her summer.
Oh, I'm Sabrina. Oh, sorry. Oh no. No. Go on, Bo. I'm sorry.
No. She went to. She did her summer in England.
Oh.
Changed her name, but she picked up the accent.
Oh, okay.
So she's.
Oi.
Was right. So we just start again from the top. She's.
Oi, mates. It's 6:58 a.m. and my dad is annoying me. He is waiting in the car to take me to my first day of high school. But wait, they don't call it high school there, do they?
High school.
High school.
Yeah.
High school is going to be awesome because my whole future is spread out before me. I got assigned a locker. They probably call it like
don't worry about it.
Okay.
She's adapting her vernacular back.
Right. Oh, of course. And I like to lay it on thick because I feel like she hasn't. It's a little Madonna.
Yeah.
Right?
Of course.
Right.
Yeah. Right. It's Christopher Nolan. He's from Illinois.
Which is actually super archaic, but I do need a place for my stuff, so that's cool. I want everyone to know.
Sorry, South African. That's what I meant.
Oh. Okay. Would you mind giving me a quick example?
Did I say South African? I meant. This is really good. I
Do you think you got well? But
I got your vibe. Is there an issue you have with the script that?
Well, I mean, I just think it's pretty brilliant,
Right.
and I just don't want you to count me out because
She's 41?
I'm 28.
What?
No,
28.
28. Sorry.
But I think I look a little younger.
Yeah, I think that's.
And I can get more Botox, whatever you need.
There is a vice principal part that's
That's only about 4 lines in the whole movie, and this is Anna Faris.
I understand.
She came to audition. She never auditions.
I never audition.
Right. We would be willing to.
So what is that? Am I like, Sabrina, you need to get to class.
No.
I don't know what's going on with you lately.
No, it's decrepit.
Sabrina.
No. Older, much older.
Sabrina. I don't know what's going on with you. She's recently been diagnosed with throat cancer.
Yeah, it's very, very sad. Yeah.
Sabrina.
I'll stay in character. I actually have a horrifying story about that. Right. We'll tell that after.
Yeah, no, I don't want to hear that.
Well, as you say, it's
Sabrina, I feel like something's going on with you. What is this? I mean, you started out as such a great student.
Sabrina is just killing me. Most like 90s name ever. It's incredible. Would you be open to other parts? Would you be open to boom operating? That's where I feel like you would shine.
Because my arms are super strong?
Yeah, you just got great pits,
Yeah, I can grow out my hair. I'm not working. I just do this fucking podcast sometimes, and my fucking partner Sim makes me fucking crazy. But the boom operator has a couple lines, right?
Yeah.
Okay, cool. Because probably at this point, Kayla's like stepped up her game, and she's doing like
clearly she stepped up her name.
So things are looking good for me. Then,
I think so. I mean, we'll be in contact.
We're gonna talk to your agent.
I'm gonna call my agent.
Okay, so this is what you have on the day.
I just thought that. I mean, it's Anna Faris. I didn't think you wanted to see anyone else after her.
Well, you have Judy Greer scheduled for after. I'm just saying we're going for teenagers.
You weren't supposed to tell her that she's in competition with Judy Greer. That's not.
No, not in competition. I wouldn't.
No, I love Judy. When's she coming? Is she out there right now?
She's not.
She's not? She's
She's
not out there right now?
She's
So
not.
fuck that shit up, man.
So, we'll talk about
But
this
I love
later.
Judy.
But you made
She's
this really
awesome.
awkward, Bo.
Me?
A tiny bit. I brought you Anna Faris, and you wanted to give her the boom
BJ
job.
and I are really close. I've been in Scary Movie 1, 2, 3, and 4, not 5. Too old.
So I just
What?
thought you would find a place for her somewhere. I mean, when you have a superstar like this, I don't know how you.
And you
pass
thought
up.
I'd find a place for her out loud in real time with her right next to me?
Bo, you really got it.
Thank you.
You really did. You
really-
really, really lucked out.
Oh, so you're doing it. Okay. Great.
God, I really got nervous.
Was that a little intimidating? When was the last
totally.
time you auditioned
What?
for real?
And
This
what
is
was
actually
that
very
like?
incredible.
Thank
By the
you.
way, she didn't even get to the part where it's like subscribe to my my
So
YouTube.
check me out. Subscribe on Instagram. Pussy.
You like the-
the outward. We've really moved into the full R here. Oh my god! So what was the Sabrina choice? Was in your guys' mind a new character? And we're following a new person?
Yeah.
Okay, that's interesting.
Yeah.
Why would you do the next grade if you're not just going to keep following?
it's a new
No.
story.
Oh, because we're casting some. We're
Yeah, well,
recasting.
now
it.
you
Got
have
it.
Anna.
Yeah.
Okay,
Elf
got
is
it.
busy. She got on a series.
Look, you know how Hollywood works. You know how foreign sales work. You need someone big to
Yeah, we need
travel
an
overseas.
international name.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Gotcha.
Yeah.
Well, that was interior bedroom day. I mean, you guys putting the scene at is actually so incredible. I could do those all day. Oh no, I shouldn't be seen.
Oh, no, I think that we might be done with that
We're
part.
gonna should we go to calls now?
Yeah, let's go to calls.
All right.
Do you know that we call people?
Yeah.
Here we go.
We're actually going to give relationship advice, and I think you're going to be great at it.
For real people.
For real people. We're
For real
actually gonna call them.
relationships.
Absolutely.
Well, we'll find out.
We're going to call Jesse, and Jesse's only 18, and he needs some help. Let's call him right now. He is in San Diego, and I hope we can help him.
Hello?
Hey, Jesse, it's Sim. How are you?
Hi, Sim. I'm doing good. How are you?
Doing well. Anna, say hi to Jesse.
Hi, Jesse.
Hi, Anna. It's nice to meet you.
Yeah, thanks so much for doing this.
And Anna's going to introduce our special guest to you.
We are here with Bo Burnham.
Hi, Jesse.
Hi, Bo.
He's amazing. He's the director of the most brilliant movie of the year called 8th Grade.
I actually saw 8th grade today.
You
You
did?
did, Jesse. Amazing. Oh, I mean, what did you
Yeah.
think?
Well, Well, first of all, I've never seen a more accurate depiction of middle school in my life.
Thank you, Jesse. That's very kind.
And like seeing it just made me feel like it was incredibly satisfying and also incredibly uncomfortable at the same time.
That means a lot, Jesse. Jesse, I'm so invested in your well-being now that you're my personal champion. I'm sweating at the thought of giving you advice.
And I just wanted to say, I'm a huge fan of horror movies, and when horror movies come on, I'm usually very I never take my eyes away from a screen, especially when I'm at a movie theater. I'm like, I paid to see this. I'm not going to look away from it. And there was a scene in that movie. I'm not going to specify which one because I don't want to spoil it for anyone.
Yeah.
But there was a scene in that movie that I literally covered my eyes because I was so uncomfortable. And not saying that that's a bad thing because that was the goal of the scene, but I've literally never had to cover my eyes in a movie theater
Well,
before.
that's really nice, Jesse. Thank you. Means a lot.
So, Jesse, the subject for email is good with individuals, bad with friend groups. Tell us what you mean.
Okay, so basically, I'm entering my sophomore year of college right now. And when I was younger in middle school and high school, I didn't really often have many friend groups. I only really have 2 friends from high school that I still talked to, and they're completely separate. But even in high school, I kind of had struggles fitting in when I would become a part of a friend group. There were 2 different friend groups that I was mainly part of in high school before I kind of gave up, and I was like, no, I'm just going to wait for college. But even in college, it's I'm good with becoming friends with people individually, and I don't have social anxiety when I'm talking to a group of strangers or if I'm meeting people for the first time. I mean, I'm telling you guys about these weird feelings that I'm having, and it doesn't really give me too much anxiety because I don't know you that well. Sorry, even though I listen to the podcast a lot, but I just have this problem whenever I become part of a friend group. When I start getting close to everyone and I really feel part of the friend group, that's when I start getting anxiety about it's so weird how friend group dynamics are. It's sometimes there are certain people that are wanted to be there and certain people that aren't. And it's I kind of feel like I have to be with them all the time. And when I'm not with them, I kind of worry that maybe they're going out without me. And I'm kind of worried that maybe some people there don't want me, even though others do. And then it's where is my place in this group? Should I be out with my friends or not? And so I guess my question to you guys is how do you learn to deal with those feelings?
Oh, you are living my life, Jesse. I was always the kind of person that had one really intense friend, and then in college it was tough to find that person. So I kind of I was I hung out with the stoner dorm rats. I tried to get in with the cool hippie girls, and I would go to fraternity parties and just make an ass out of myself. I felt like I spent 5 years, because I was a fifth year student, but trying to find my social group. And it was so, I'm just the kind of person that has 1 or 2 really, really close friends. But also as a creative person, we sort of crave intensity a bit. And sometimes group settings just aren't the easiest thing for us. Do you feel that way, Bo?
Yeah, I mean, the thing you're struggling with is because you are a perceptive, emotionally intelligent person. And the individual connections you are having feel more comfortable because they are more true and right. It's just an impossibility for 6 people to hang out on equal footing. You know what I mean? It's just it's crazy. And I don't think you're even alone in your feelings in your friend group. It's when I have close relationships with 4 or 5 people. When those 4 or 5 people get together in a room, it's crazy because my relationships with people are kind of maybe mutually exclusive, or oh no, now how do I divide my time equally amongst these people, or oh, these relationships that actually were never meant to be compared are now being compared. Oh no, now I'm laughing more with this friend than I am with that. So it's I think what you're feeling is just because of it's insane for 6 people to hang out as friends. You know what I mean? It just kind of is inherently insane. And I think you can have separate relationships with those people on your own and also feel like being in a group is weird. And that doesn't mean it's fake. That doesn't mean the relationships are fake.
And Jesse, I think it's a really good quality, because I think that it means to me, I mean, because I feel like I have this quality too, but I think that it means that you want meaningful conversation or real personal connection that we all sort of strive for. And not everyone can, give that to you. And there's certain people that are great at being social. And every once in a while, I'm good at being making a total ass out of myself.
You're sensitive. You're just a sensitive, perceptive person. And I mean that as a compliment, sensitivity. And there are just some people that aren't. There's some people that can hang out in a group and it's just like everything just flies off. They're just Teflon and they don't even know it. But you're taking inventory, as sensitive, emotional people are, of where the attention's being held. Okay, how is everybody ranking? Okay, am I outside of this? Now, how am I fitting into this? Just so you know, I've been in groups where I have really, really close friends that may not integrate well into a certain group and another. I am also really close friends with someone who I don't integrate into their larger friend group, and that's okay. There are a lot of people that are in the opposite position of you, and I think that's way worse to be in. People that can pal around in a group but can't have deep relationships with people platonically. And that is actually where the real value is. So yeah.
I always felt too, Jesse, that that when I did try to fit in with some of these groups in college, I would get this paranoid feeling that everyone's sort of talking shit about me or making fun of me, and I never really felt like I could banter well, or and in college was a really rough time for me. I didn't love it. I'm glad I did it. I'm glad I graduated. Because I guess it's sort of an accomplishment, although apparently nobody in this industry cares. But wait, I'm not supposed to say that. Yeah. Kids, go to college. But no, it was a tough time for me, and because I was constantly looking for true friendship, which is what I found more rewarding than big groups. Sim has his whole fraternity experience.
I have to say that it doesn't necessarily go away, and it's not because you're young either. I mean, I can tell you right now that I've been Anna knows this. I've had some very, very close friends for a long time, and I know individually, one-on-one with these friends, I like myself and I like them. But there are times where even now, and I'm 41, when if we get together in a group, sometimes they would either make me feel small or the dynamic is completely changed. It's shifted. So individually, I like all of them. But sometimes two of them together and me and a few people who they want to showcase whatever, their verbal, whatever, it just to either put me down, make fun of me in a funny way. It's one of those things where I still hate that. I hate it because it's because I know these guys individually, and they're not like that when they're in a complete group. The group dynamic sometimes, especially in male friendships, fucks things up, and it's not something that just goes away.
You know what's crazy, Sim? Because I've been witness to a lot, like you hanging out with your friends a lot, is that they think it's all out of love. Mm-hmm. And familiarity.
Sure.
And
I've been a really good sport about it because I like the attention, but of course, because they're talking about me. Who doesn't? Yeah. But sometimes, if it doesn't make you feel great, then, you don't have to just accept it.
Just know, Jesse, that you're not alone in this at all. And there's nothing. And I think it makes you, like I said, I don't know, a progressive person.
And I just think the relationships you have friendship wise will skew more and more towards what you're comfortable with when you're older. I'm just thinking of all of my friends, my girlfriend's friends, everyone I know, it's not 8 people at a dinner table all hanging out. It's everyone has 4 or 5 close friends that they 95% of the time are seeing one-on-one. I mean, that's what adult friendships really are. Absolutely. It's not you go to Buffalo Wild Wings and you see 20 dudes at a table, but I don't think any of us are ever fitting into that. So I just think you should. It's also the college is its own surreal social environment that is kind of putting those big, group mixer ice cream socials. What am I 75 years old? but I don't think that be strong in the fact that you're able to have close personal relationships, and just realize like, it's exactly what you're saying, which is like when you, I just have close friends when I see them. I'm like, oh, I'm never going to see them in a group setting ever again. Or I feel 1.5 feet tall when I went to their birthday party and I was around people I didn't know. But I don't think that's indicative on either of us. I think you got to forgive yourself and forgive the other person, because social environments are weird for everybody.
And yeah, I mean, I'm in touch with one person from college because that's the natural thing that also happens too, is that as you get older, these friendships dissipate. But man, I feel you. But
let's give him some final advice.
I know. I wish I had like really practical advice, like log on to this thing and find like whatever like game night.
Stay the course is the advice. Just know that he's not alone and that this is completely normal.
Exactly. Yeah, Jesse, you're not alone, and you know, I always took solace in like reveling in my loneliness. I would just put my headphones on and listen to really sad music.
I just think you can like devalue those group situations as like inherently so important to what you are as a friend or a member of a friend group. Like it's the weird thing that happens on Friday nights when you all get together, and it's like the true thing, the actual deep lasting thing is the thing that's working for you, which is the one-on-one relationships.
Absolutely.
That's actually what matters.
Jesse, thank you so much.
Yeah, thank you. It was really helpful for me to hear that.
Yeah, listen, you're truly not alone. Please keep in touch, and I love you, and thank you so much.
Will do. Thank you guys so much for having me on.
Bye, Jesse.
Thanks,
Have a good
Jesse.
summer.
Bye.
That was good advice, guys.
Yeah.
It really was.
But what it like that's a difficult Oh yeah. Oh my God. Oh, I have all my diaries.
Oh wow.
that
Okay.
just-
Oh my God, Anna, look at you.
Yeah.
This is a picture of Anna in eighth. You're in 8th grade?
I think that's 8th grade.
Oh my God.
Before headgear and braces.
The necklace.
Yeah.
The necklace is incredible. I can hear the necklace.
You can't. Yeah.
I can hear
You're like,
actually.
this is my. I gotta get out of this town.
Wooden necklace.
I gotta get out of here. I'm a theater.
It's so good.
I'm working in theater in
You
Seattle.
look so happy.
I look happy, but I was not.
Yeah, well.
That's the kind of actress I am.
Exactly.
Bo.
There
See?
it is.
Think about that for 9th grade.
Come on.
All right, we're going to call Madeline now. Madeline is in Charlotte, and she's 29.
Hello.
Hey, Madeline, it's Sim. How are you?
Hi, I'm good. How are you?
Doing well. Anna, say hi to Madeline.
Hi, Madeline. It's Anna. Thank you so much for doing this.
And Anna's going to introduce our special guest.
We've got Bo Burnham here. He directed the most magnificent movie called 8th Grade.
Hi, Madeline.
Hi, Bo. Hi, Anna.
Hi, you have a beautiful name. I love that name.
Thank you.
Madeline, so your subject email says, am I a cougar? So let's answer that question. Tell us what's going on.
Right. So I met my boyfriend almost 2 years ago at work. We worked together. We were really good friends for a while. We became really close. Nothing romantic. But on New Year's Eve of this year, things escalated from friends to more than that. And we've sort of been inseparable ever since. He's awesome, great, like in so many ways. I care about him a lot. But shortly after New Year's, he had a birthday coming up. And he said he was going to be 24. I knew he was younger than me, and we have friends at our old company. I no longer work there, but we had friends of all age groups, so it wasn't a big deal. But I had no idea that he was, I'm 29, about to be 30. We're almost exactly 5 years apart. I had no idea that he was 24. Not like he was 18 or 19. It wasn't like, oh my God, are you kidding me? But it definitely, we talked about it. I was like, well, I'm 29. Like I'm going to be 30 this year. And he was like, yeah, okay, cool. Like he didn't think anything of it. And so everything is so great between us, but my only qualm is that he's 5 years younger. And we're moving in together next month. We're both moving to a new city for different jobs. And I guess after we talked about it, and he didn't care about it at all. Like, it wasn't a big deal to him that I was older. I was like, okay, whatever. And things were so great. And I felt like I really met like could be the one person. I've been out with, always dated guys older than me. And not to bash on the guys I dated before, but they were nowhere near as mature as my current boyfriend, older than me. So I just, it's been the only issue really. And a couple of my girlfriends, most of my friends and family love him. They're like, oh, that's so great. Who cares that he's younger? Like, what is the big deal? Doesn't matter. But a couple of my girlfriends, like, we would go to brunch and they'd meet him and they would pull me aside and be like, oh my gosh, he's wonderful. And I would tell them how old he was. And they were like, they had this look on their face, like, oh.
Well,
okay.
Bo's
Really?
dying.
Both of you
I'm
are
dying.
chomping at the bit here.
I'm dying.
You go,
This question was made for me.
Yes.
So
That's what you were trying to tell me?
yes, this is made for me. So Madeline, you're 29, he's 24.
Yeah.
I am 27. My girlfriend is 40, and I've been with her for 6 years. So I was 20.
Oh my God, Bo, you're my new best friend.
Yes. So I was 21 and she was 33 or 34. So that was like, I mean, that is a much more, it felt very extreme at that time. And like, I was 21.
Right.
So this worry of like, I don't know, him being in his glory days and robbing him of some time that you thought he might be having, like, it really, really is not the case. First of all, like the horrible sexist double standard in this horrible world of ours is like men's glory days are until the rest of their life. You know what I mean? Like, so that doesn't have to be worried about. But
right.
like, I would talk to my girlfriend honestly about this stuff. And it sounds like from what you're talking about with your boyfriend, you can speak honestly with him. And it's like, all he's missing out on is like, I don't know, awful relationships in your early 20s that don't really work that well. Like, you search so long for a relationship that means something and is meaningful. The glory days are being in a loving relationship with somebody you care about. So, I mean, this is like so close to home that I actually have like too many answers where I can't even go for it. But I'm saying I am 6 years into being on the other, in exactly what you were in, and having literally lost, quote unquote, the glory years you're worried of robbing of him, like, zero regret, no worry about that. Like, if something's working and it's good and you're happy, what, he's gonna like run around and like get drunk and have like awful hookups? Like, who cares? Like, as opposed to like spending time with you and being in a loving relationship and having something work. That's
honestly like almost verbatim what he said to me before. I think it's my own like neuroses right now that is just driving me nuts. I know it's my own personal insecurity.
Two ideas that I have. I think one, it doesn't sound like this is where it's coming from, but if the question is sort of coming from little clues that he's given you, but it doesn't sound like that's the case at all. It sounds like you guys are in a really loving, wonderful relationship. I think the bigger thing though is the big life change that you guys have. Like if you're right now surrounded by friends and family and you're moving to a different city together, sort of like age being whatever, like I don't think that that's a thing, but I think that this could be coming from a bit of a fear of that. I don't know if you'll have a support system in your new city or not. That will present its own challenges and probably some amazing times and amazing adventures. But it will be a time for you guys to be leaning on each other, having a whole new experience.
Well, I was going to say, like, and in my 20s too, and I spoke with Sam about this, is that I like really went for it. Like, I moved to so many different cities. I lived abroad for a while. I've changed jobs way too many times, more than I should have. But I've like really, quote unquote, lived it up. And oh my gosh, like me at 24 is so different than how he is at 24 that it's sometimes hard for me to like get out of my own head and be like, oh, maybe everyone isn't looking for this like crazy experience throughout their 20s. It was just hard for me to relate at first that he was like so cool with it.
So
I was like,
Madeline,
wait, don't you want to go like live abroad or I don't know. He was like, no, I love to travel, but no.
Is this? Are you feeling a tiny bit of cold feet? And it's okay if you are, and you don't even have to answer. But it is something to
no, I'll
ask.
definitely answer. I mean, I really, really care about him. I think that's what scares me and why I'm acting so like panicked right now is because I've avoided finding the right person throughout my 20s. So I'm like, oh, whatever. I'm going to move cities tomorrow. You know, I'm not going to settle down. I'm not going to get close to this guy because I'm leaving. And this is the first time where I'm like, no, I really want to. I actually do. My only issue is that he's younger, and I'm afraid of just robbing him of.
It's also like, it really is, Madeline. It is like a cultural double standard that is unfair. If he was 29 and you were 24, like there would be absolutely no question. It's like, for some reason, like the guy has to have been through all the things and the guy has to have the experience and the girl is just so lucky to have this older guy. It can be the other way and really, really work. And like, you can believe him. And the struggles of like, you know, I want to go out there and party and be free. Like that's also just like normal relationship struggles for everybody of like, do we all just want to, you know, run around naked in the mud all day, or do we want to like actually be with someone? Like that's just a lifelong sort of thing. But I think you're allowed to, you can give yourself permission to do this.
Madeline, if he asked you to marry him over like the next few months, how would you feel? You don't have to say yes.
In the next few months?
Yeah. I mean,
I would do it.
Wait, what'd you say? You said you'd do it?
I think I would. This is the first time I've ever felt this way. Ever.
Then
I think I would. I mean, I'm not trying to have that part of my life like tomorrow, but definitely in the near future.
Well, like, I think that, I think that it sounds like you guys have an awesome relationship and you both make each other really, really happy. I think that, and it sounds like he, you know, fucking loves you. And I do think that probably a lot of open communication in the next like few months in terms of just being in a whole new environment is probably really good. And then, yeah, when you guys have a chance, kick his ass and get him over to Europe.
It's just her friends that are fucking with her head. That's it. It's just your friends that are messing with you.
Because you're not thinking, you are, when you're with him, you don't think, oh my God, this guy's 5 years younger than me, right?
No, like literally never. And then sometimes I forget about it and I'm like,
of course.
Oh my God, wait, oh yeah, I forgot.
It's also, if you guys are together for, you know, for a long time, you're going to be like 53 and 58 and going, what were we talking about again? Oh, remember when you were younger than me? you know?
When was your birthday?
Right.
The advice I would give, and this is from my personal experience, it is not healthy to feel like you're robbing him of something. You don't put that pressure on yourself. Don't have that guilt. That's absolutely ridiculous. Like, life is so chaotic. So many things happen. He might have went to Peru and got a tapeworm in his 20s if he wasn't with you. Like, no, but really, like, you are giving him something. He is giving you something. Like, let go of the thing of like, oh, I'm tying you down from having some great life running around. Like, trust him to be in control of his own happiness. He's there because he wants to be with you. He's there because he loves you, and let that happen. And trust that he knows what's right for him, because he does.
Yeah, and Madeline, don't let your friends and family get into your ear too much, and also don't rush into anything before it feels completely right. I've made that mistake. I don't think that's what you're doing. I'm just projecting my own mistakes onto you. But
I appreciate it, and I've been there.
Madeline, I'm just curious. Are you kind of worried about turning 30?
Oh, some days I'm like, hell yeah, bring on 30. Other days I'm like, want to crawl into a hole. So yeah, of course I'm nervous.
So do you feel like you want to kind of settle down because of that arbitrary number? I
think as a woman, for sure, I get that pressure. But also, I thought about this a ton. And I think because I have had so many experiences and like, I'm not ready to completely, get married and have babies next year. But I'm getting to a place where I'm like really ready to just be still. I'm like, all right, just like quit moving around so much and just like plant roots somewhere. I definitely had that feeling.
I was worried about.
Yeah, I mean, I'm gonna miss my 20s. It was great.
I wasn't worried about turning 30. I didn't really but the odd thing that happened, like on the day of my birthday, my 30th birthday, I had this crazy wave of freedom and relief. It was wild. It was unexpected. It was like, oh, fuck, I've got the rest of my life ahead of me. Like, this feels weirdly liberating. And, whatever. It was odd. I did not expect it. And I prioritized myself a little bit more. It was great. My 30s were awesome. And now my 40s are going to be fucking kick ass.
Yeah. You're also going to have You're also going to have a very fun snorkel back into your 20s via your boyfriend. I'm saying I was bringing like my 35-year-old girlfriend to Disneyland. You know what I mean? Because I was 23. The truth is, what's going to happen is like the age question. I'm saying my age gap is way bigger than yours and absolutely disappeared with my friends and family after a year. And like once you're together, it's never going to come up again. And honestly, Madeline, I think you're emphasizing this in your mind because it's going so well and it's the only thing, and it's the only thing that feels like it could be an issue, so like because it's going so well and because you're feeling so great about it, all of your worries going to the one place where it looks like it maybe could be wrong, and it's not. First of all, 5 years is nothing, and like I think it's just because.
But you don't think like a 24-year-old guy is like a 19-year-old guy?
I was a 21-year-old guy, so I was maybe a 15-year-old guy. But really, some of them are. But I felt like a sensitive, whatever, 21-year-old guy that was, again, I was worse.
Madeline, if we also if we futurized, everything in our life, I mean, shit's going to happen one way or the other, no matter what. Maybe you guys will be together till you're 120 and then you'll get frozen and then you'll come back to life, 300 years from now and you guys will still be together. And then age really won't matter.
Bo, I love your advice. And I feel like you and Madeline's boyfriend are amazing examples of how it could work. And I'm so happy that it is. And I know, Madeline, I really genuinely believe that this guy cares about you. But I just remember when I was 24, I know other 24-year-olds, for the most part, I can't let this call go without saying that 24 for a man, as from my experience, is not mature enough. That's just coming from me.
For a 29-year-old? For 29?
24 for a man to settle down.
Oh,
I'm just saying.
I don't even know if she's talking about settling down.
Well, I think that's the next step. I think that's what Madeline wants.
Well, but no, the thing is that Sam, I hear what you're saying.
I'm sorry. No. I think everything Bo is saying is amazing.
But like 30 years ago, 24-year-olds were like back from their third tour of Vietnam.
Oh, absolutely. It's a different time,
in my 20s, right. I wasn't prepared for I wasn't prepared. But I think the next year will reveal itself to Madeline, and it'll be like, okay, the signs will be there. He may be, they may be getting married in like 4 or 5 years, or it may reveal itself that
Bo is the most mature 27-year-old man I've ever met in my entire life, and I mean that as a compliment. I've heard you on Terry Gross. I thought I was listening to a 40-year-old.
You got on Terry Gross.
You're a very, 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 very emotionally mature man. So I'm just saying that it's very rare, and I know that this is an example. This might be another Bo Burnham. She might be dating another Bo Burnham.
No, it's not even that. It's just that like the wonderful, wonderful part about life is being in love and being happy. And there are so many excuses we can make to not make ourselves be happy and enjoy it. And like, it's going good for you right now. Like, let yourself enjoy that. Like, don't get in the way of it. And there's a million ways things could blow up. I mean, geez, we're like, the whole country's on fire. We're rotating around a ball of gas. I mean, oh my goodness, you found love and you're feeling good. Like, really enjoy it.
So
enjoy
I should
it.
buy that horse?
Yes, ride free.
I'm going to buy the horse.
Right.
Feel free.
And I think too, he and I both come from divorce. And I think that's one of the reasons I've always been so mature for my age, and he definitely is very mature for his age because of that. And it could be another reason why I'm always looking for like one thing wrong.
Right. Well,
and I mean, who knows if that's true, but I'm just like, wow, this is going too good.
What's
but I came from the other case. My parents have an amazing marriage, and I think my brother and I have had long conversations about this, about how many times we've tried to make a bad thing work. We ignored all the red flags. So there's sort of the flip side of that. But listen, I would say take Bo's advice, have have a great time and love each other and see what happens. And if you end up breaking his heart or he ends up breaking your heart, that's how we grow. And if not, then we'll see you in the freezer.
And the only difference is you have to currently sign for the rental car. That's the only milestone that's left for him. Is he'll turn 25 and then qualifies for low insurance on a rental car. So you're pretty much. But another example is like my mother and father, 4.5 years apart, and they were 18 and 22, and by the time my mother was 24, they had 3 kids, and they've been together for 30 years now. So it's like, as much as there are patterns, as much as it's just like
there's no recipe.
Yeah, the only thing is like, do you love each other? Do you make each other happy? Is it not completely self-destructive? Is it not like? And if it's not that, it's like, hell yeah, yay!
Right. I know. I mean, so far it's been great, and I foresee it going well too. My friends just put a bug in my ear.
Oh yeah. Don't let them do that.
You really want to do this? He's so much younger.
The friend thing is a tough one because they come from it at all different angles. They've got
That's
their
another
own
conversation.
Yeah.
I also think they're being so extreme. 24 and 29. I think it's just because it's
agree.
a woman and a younger man.
When anyone dispenses advice, they bring their own agenda into it. But
Just like us.
Will you please keep in touch? And I hope that you guys have an awesome adventure and whatever. If you can't get away to some fun, foreign country, take road trips on the weekends and just enjoy each other. And
you can have his glory days together. Do you know, you know what I mean? He can do all the fun 20s stuff and you can do it together. Like he just
Burning Man.
Yeah, you can do all that. We'll
meet you there.
I mean, Bo, you're really right. I think I needed to hear that. I need some unbiased advice where someone was like, "Look, what you're doing is okay. It isn't that bad."
No,
nothing. It's
awesome.
great. It's wonderful. It's like, you're
awesome.
not Roy Moore. You're a 29-year-old with a 24-year-old. It's so cool. It's like nothing wrong. Everything's great. You're the best.
Will you keep us posted? Thank you so much.
Thank you, Madeline.
And I love you. I truly thank you.
Thanks, guys. I love you too, Anna.
Enjoy being in love.
Thanks. I will.
Okay. Keep us posted.
Thanks, Madeline.
Bye.
Bye.
That was close. Well, that was hilarious. So I was reading that. I think that was so close to home.
I had no idea, by the way. When I
was
picked that
did you guys
call,
do
I had
research?
no idea.
That's hilarious.
No, that's great. It worked out. It worked out.
Yeah, I mean, I was 21-year-old with a
That's insane.
33. So
we should be talking to just you about that whole. I feel like there's another hour just on that.
But I'm saying that is one where you go to your friends and you go
Right.
oh, you know what I mean? And her friends were going what?
What were your friends? What were your guy friends like at the time?
Well, my friends were cool. You know what I mean? I think I look cool.
Yeah.
She looks like she's
Gotcha.
losing her mind,
Right.
But we weren't. We've been together for a while, and we never ever think of our age when we're together. I never think of her as older than me.
That's awesome. Love conquers age?
Legally.
Legally.
Love conquers
Yes,
legal age
age.
gaps. As the old adage goes.
Hey, Bo, thank you so much.
Hey, I'm glad to be here. This is wonderful.
You're the best, and truly, congrats on your movie. It is so fucking great. Dear listeners, please check out 8th Grade. All right. And good night.
Thanks for having me. Oh, I'm sorry.
Okay, and I love you.
Thanks for having me. I love you
Fuck
too.
you, Bo. Fuck you. I'm out of here.
She's unqualified. She's unqualified.
Anna, let's thank all of our sponsors for today's show, including Suave. They have the coconut oil infusion damage repair hair. But listen, you love the shampoo. Tell us.
I do, Sim, and I'll tell you why.
Why?
Because my hair gets really fucking frizzy
Yes.
and dry
Yes.
because I bleach it. Suave. For hair you can believe.
I love that. I like the hopeful.
Suave. For hair you can believe.
Amazing. Thank you.
Suave. For hair you can believe.